Well, hello, wonderful students, and welcome to week 2 of English 101 and English 11. So today we're going to take a look at all of the things that we're going to be working on in order to get us to our final first essay, which is our summary and response essay. So everything that we're going to be doing this week in English 101 and English 11 is going to get us to have a lot of feedback and a lot of information on your summary and response essay due this coming Sunday. Okay, so let's take a look at what we need to do. As I always tell you, I like for you to take a look at the course schedule. So this is our course schedule for English 101. On Wednesday, we have 2 assignments that are due, and on Sunday, our essay is due. In English 11, what we can see is we're going to notice that we have our second checkpoint due this coming Thursday. So we're going to take a look at that in just a little bit. What I like for you to do is I like for you to preview the week. So let's take a look at both English 101 and the things you're going to be learning, and then take a look at English 11 to see how it all works together. All right. So if I click here in week 2, summarizing and responding, I'm going to see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different modules that I need to work through. If I look at all of the information, what is it that I need to make sure that I'm working on first? Well, since I know that I have my thesis statements discussion board and my second part of my progress check due on Wednesday, that means that I want to make sure that I'm understanding what I'm doing for the summary and response essay. And then what I look at is I would take a look at thesis statements as well. Okay, I'm going to move this up a little bit for you. I would also take a look at body paragraphs because in that second part of the planner, you're going to be outlining your essay. So you want to make sure that you understand what our end goal is and what we're doing in the essay. You want to make sure that you have a good thesis statement because that's the driver for the essay. And then you want to make sure that you're understanding how to complete the body paragraphs because that's how you're going to be completing your outline, okay? The other thing that I would take a look at is, of course, introductions. This also is going to be part of your outline. And so as we know that we are going to be outlining the whole thing, we want to make sure that we understand all parts of the essay before we get started putting down our thoughts. The format is really, really important for this essay, so I highly recommend you start there. All right, now let's take a look at English 11. In English 11, you have active reading strategies, which will help you out a little bit to make sure that you're really understanding how to read through the material in the course, as well as the reading number 1 that we're working on this week. You have a little bit of extra information in summary and paraphrase, first steps for writing a thesis statement, so a little bit of extra information on thesis statements, hooks, responses, and clinchers, and conclusions. So this is all about your introduction and your conclusion. So these are just tips and tricks as to how to write really, really great information for this upcoming essay. All right, so if we know that we need to complete those modules for thesis and progress check, right? What I would do is I would go in then to English 11 and then go through the different pages. They're very short to make sure that I'm really understanding what I'm learning and what the format is going to look like. These are going to be great for you. I would come back to these again at the end of the week on Friday when you're really starting to actually write your essay and take a look at what the tips and tricks are to make sure that you are really on point. The one page I want to point you to in English 11 is first steps for writing thesis statements. What you're going to notice is that this just breaks it down a little bit further. It gives you a little bit of information about what a summary and response essay is. It tells you exactly what the information is going to look like, okay? And then it tells you exactly how step by step to complete your thesis statement. So that's going to be really, really helpful in your Wednesday assignment for English 101. Right? You're going to need to actually write your thesis statement out. And so this page is really going to help you in order to do that in a really cohesive way and get it just right. Okay, let's take a look now at the rest of the information for the rest of the week. Let's go back now to English 11 because we've already taken a look at our assignments for our Wednesday 101 classes. All right, so in checkpoint 2 right here, it says title page and introduction. So in checkpoint 2, what you will complete is the following. Pretty straightforward stuff. All of our assignments are going to be in APA format, which means that you need a title page, you need headers for your paragraphs, you need a references page. Last week, in week 1, I had asked you to go through all of the APA resources, so this should be something that's very familiar to you at this point. For our checkpoint number 2, what we're going to do is chunk up our paper a little bit, all right? So you've already gotten part 1 of the planner done. By Wednesday, you'll have part 2 of the planner done, and you'll have an outline, lots of feedback coming back, and now you can actually start to write. So in this checkpoint, what I'm asking you to do is to watch the video, and first, you're going to create your APA title page, okay? So really, you're going to start your essay. You'll create your APA title page by watching this video. Then you'll skip down to the second page. You'll write your header. And then what you'll do is use these areas here in order to then write your introductory paragraph, okay? So this is a 2-part checkpoint, the APA title page and your introduction. So once you've completed your title page, skip down to that second page of your essay and put your header up and then start writing your introduction. Your introduction is 1 paragraph with a hook, background information, and thesis statement. So all of that will be ready to go, and you will be able then to get some feedback on that part of your essay. Down here, when you look at how it links to English 101, I kind of give you that reminder. You'll have feedback on Friday from this area, and then what you'll do is you'll just start typing your summary, then your first body paragraph, your second body paragraph, your conclusion, your references page. So you will have already started your essay just by doing this second checkpoint. All right, now, what information do we need then for Sunday? When we look then at our Sunday assignment, this is our summary and response essay. Please make sure that you are looking in English 101 and making sure that you're going over this information in the beginning of the week so that you know exactly what to do. What I would do is I would go back over this. I would look at the sample, and then I would look at writing the first draft and formatting an essay in APA 7th edition. This is really going to help you format that paper to make sure that everything is good to go. You can also kind of use this page for your checkpoint in English 11 if you like. This one goes step by step as well. So if you need to read it rather than hear it, that's your page. All right, guys. So this is what you need in order to accomplish a really successful paper for your summary and response essay. I would also make sure that I'm looking again on Thursday and Friday, maybe Saturday, and taking a look at these pages as well, because again, these pages in English 11 are there to give you those extra tips and tricks to make sure that your essay is straight on point. All right, everybody. As a helpful hint before you move forward, please make sure that you're looking for the announcements in week 1 and week 2, because throughout this entire week, you're going to be getting feedback from your first part of your progress check. You'll be getting feedback from your discussion board and your outline. You'll also have feedback from your title page and your introduction. So you will already know what you need to do and what you need to add or fix or anything that I need to tell you before you do this. So make sure that you're looking for an announcement that takes you through how to check the feedback, okay? All that information is going to be there for you. I really look forward to reading what you do in your summary and response essay. But more so, I'm really looking forward to seeing how you build that information, because really our course is all about the writing process. And I love more than anything to watch my students learn. This is the week for me because I get to watch you learn 1, 2, 3, 4 different times before we get to the summary and response essay. So really look at that feedback, use the course to help you. And I'm at 10 minutes, so I'm 2 minutes slower than the last time, which is great. And let's see if we can whittle it down even a little bit more next week. All right, we all have our goals, right? All right, everybody, good luck, and I will see you in your essays this week. Good luck.